confessed. Robert coloured. "Damn you," he said. Jay was suddenly defiant. "Well, father, how will you punish me? Cut me off without a penny? You've already done that." "I warn you," Sir George growled. "You should be worrying about my cash, not me," Jay said quickly. "He told everyone he was leaving today." Harry Ratchet coughed. "You might just let my cash go, Sir George," he said. "We'd be well rid of him." "I can't do that," Father replied. "If he gets away with it, every young miner will think he can leave too." Robert put in, "It's not just us either. If young miners are allowed to leave at the age of 21, the entire industry could collapse." "Exactly," Father agreed. "And then what would the British nation do for coal?" Keeping the conversation focused on Macash, Jay asked, "But what can be done?" Sir George smiled. "We make him go the round," he said. Mac went home exhausted and fell asleep immediately. When he woke up, he remembered. He was leaving the glen. The first thing he did was make a bath, then climbed in and began to scrub every inch of skin. He felt good. This was the last time he would ever wash coal dust off his skin. Slavery was behind him. While he was in the bath, Annie came into the room. "Don't go, Mac," she said quietly. "Don't leave me here." "I must go away," he replied. "I'll miss you, Annie, but I have to go." "You think you're better than the rest of us, don't you?" she said. Mac said, "We're all too good for slavery." She knelt beside the tub and put her hand on his knee. "Don't you love me, Mac?" To his shame, he began to feel aroused. "You're dear to me, Annie, but—" She slipped her hand under the water and smiled. He said, "Where's Esther?" "She'll be away for a while." Annie stood up and pulled off her dress. She wore nothing else. Her body was lean and hard, and her skin was grey with coal dust, like Mac's. She climbed into the tub with him, kneeling astride his legs. "Say you'll stay," she pleaded. "I want to feel you inside me." He knew that if he gave in, his fate was sealed. "No," he whispered. She was poised over him. "Say yes," she said. He gave up the struggle. "Yes," he said. "Please, quickly." There was a terrific crash and the door flew open. Annie screamed. 4 armed men burst in, Robert Jameson, Henry Ratchet, and 2 of the Jameson's keepers. Annie leapt out of the bath. Dazed, Mac stood up shakily. "Cosy cousins," one of the keepers said with a leer. Robert laughed harshly. "I suppose incest is nothing to coal miners." Mac suppressed his anger and struggled to remain controlled. He looked at Robert. "I'm a free man, and I've broken no laws," he said. "What are you doing in my house?" The other keeper was staring at Annie's body. "What a pretty sight," he said thickly, and reached out and grasped Annie's wet breast. Mac sprang from the tub, grabbed the man by the wrist, and thrust his hand into the fire. The man screamed, but he could not escape. Mac yelled, "Run, Annie!" Annie snatched up her dress and flew out of the back door. The butt of a musket cracked into the back of Mac's head. Mac released the man, smashed the other keeper's face, then slammed his bare foot into Harry Ratchet's groin. Ratchet sank to the floor. But 4 opponents were too many. Another musket blow stunned him, and he was wrestled to the ground. The point of Robert Jameson's sword was at his throat. After a moment, Robert said, "Tie him up." That night, after long hours Mac had spent shivering, naked, in the Jameson's stone larder, he was pulled out and fitted with an iron collar, like the one Jimmy Lee wore. It was the ultimate humiliation, a sign for all the world to see, saying he was another man's property. They threw some clothes at him, which he donned hastily. Then Mac was tied up and taken out to the pit. Mac realized they were going to make him go the round. He roared, "You've no right to do this, no right!" The keepers laughed at him. They stood him in the muddy circular track where the horse walked to turn the bucket chain. He held his head high, although he felt like bursting into tears. They tied him to the harness, facing the horse. Then the ostler whipped the horse into a trot. Mac began to run backwards. He stumbled almost immediately and slipped under the horse's feet. The horse halted. They made Mac stand up. Then they lashed the horse again. Mac was
You will find the link in the description of this video. Thanks for watching this video. It is crucial for me that you subscribe and give a like. I appreciate it. Finally, if you activate the bell icon, you will receive a notice from YouTube every time I upload a new video. Have a great day.